Thank you once again for joining me. First, actually, let me start with you, Mr. Mpofu. Your position in Nedbank, what it entails, and the importance thereof with regard to the Nedbank Cup.
Thank you very much. My position as a Senior Financial Education Manager with regards to the Nedbank Cup is to make sure that the new soccer players that are coming into the field understand how to engage with the bank or financial institutions and to manage their finances so that they don't end up being left out and able to sustain themselves when the future of their career comes to an end.
Absolutely wonderful, and it's quite clear that Nedbank are extremely invested in that regard. Can you just take us through some of the steps and some of the educational points that a lot of footballers, as you just mentioned, require really from start to finish of their career, and indeed any other regular person that is looking to better themselves in that regard?
Of course, thank you for that question. Nedbank is very dedicated to inclusivity when it comes to financial literacy. What we do is to make sure that we start people from an early age to make sure that they're financially literate and they're able to manage their finances as they grow up and as they start earning their salaries, depending on what type of salary you earn, because some get manageable salaries, some are overwhelmed by their salaries because of the career path that they take, especially in the football fraternity. Somebody starts from zero to a very large sum of money, which makes it difficult for them to manage. So Nedbank makes sure that we take part into that and help them start learning how to manage those finances, using the tools that we have, of course.
Thank you very much. That is Charles Mpofu, the Senior Manager, Financial Education over at Nedbank. Teko? All right. Osham?
Mike.
Oh, okay. I'm a biologist essentially. I guess it's only fair then that we start with you, Stanton. I mean, you've been watching the Nedbank Cup. We've gone past the round of 32 now. Some interesting results, I'll say. Ahead of the round of 16, what are you looking forward to?
I see your smile when you say interesting results.
Absolutely. I don't need anything else but interesting.
The beloved Kaizer Chiefs as exited.
You choose to start there?
Yeah, that's where you get the smile.
Okay.
Such an exciting cup, and once again, just be proud to be part of this journey with Nedbank as an ambassador. And it's an opportunity, so many players, myself and Teko were chatting earlier, so many players got the opportunity to live their dreams. We find amateur sides come up against the likes of Orlando Pirates, the likes of Sundowns, the likes of Kaizer Chiefs. And for some players that play this game at an amateur level, it's a dream come true. And at the same time, it becomes an opportunity. And this is why this is such a special cup, because it lets you live out your dreams. It gives players with ability the platform to be scouted. It gives teams the opportunity that teams, for example, like a La Masia that has just come from ABC Motsepe, they now play against the Mamelodi Sundowns, and your brand and your team becomes known in the soccer fraternity at large, So just these brilliant opportunities comes with participating in the Nedbank Cup.
Yeah, it's steeped in history, isn't it, of our football, Teko? And you played in big games, you played in front of big crowds. As far as the Nedbank Cup is concerned, what makes this competition so unique?
Yes, it's the ability to see the upsets, because when the opportunities are being given to lower tier teams, and opportunities as well for the players to be scouted, like Steve said. I think as a footballer, all you need is just an opportunity, especially when you're playing for lower tier teams, because you're playing against teams that normally you wouldn't be able to play against, whether friendly whatsoever. But in this big stage, you're given an opportunity. We've seen, now we're speaking of Makani Somayo, that is in the national team, that he's done well when he was playing for Richards Bay in this tournament as well. And he got scouted, he got an opportunity to come play in the PSL. Now he's in the national team. So you can see the transition that's been happening in the right team. Once you do well, it gives you that opportunity. But I guess also for the teams in the PSL, it becomes a nightmare, because then you get an opportunity to play against teams that you don't normally know anything about. That's why we see so many upsets. And I guess I was also telling to Stiga off air saying it's just an unfortunate situation. But you look at the teams that have done well against Chiefs, look at the players where they're going. Because then when you play against these top teams, as a footballer, you want to do well, you want to excel, you want to market yourself. It also reminded me as well that I also had an opportunity when I started playing. I got an opportunity to play against the Chiefs, even though we lost because we had to lose. But from there on, I got to be signed in the PSL because of the opportunity being given and also the performance that I provided in the day against the top, the big guns. So it is the type of a tournament, and it becomes very difficult, like I said, for the top teams to be playing in it because then you have to do extra. You have to work a little bit harder because we play against opponents that normally don't know. And that's why it's so difficult. That's why there's no consistency in terms of who wins it, especially from a PSL perspective.
You've played in it, you've won it. As far as the essence of the Nedbank Cup is concerned, if you are one of 16 teams remaining, when do you think you start perhaps feeling, you know what, we can actually do this?
I think it all boils down to the fixture. You're lucky enough if the fixture football goes out on your side, because you also look at a lot of Paris last year when they went through it. You look at the fixtures, the teams that they had to face, even though they were difficult, but when you play against a lower tier, when things get tough, your experience will come through, your knowledge will come through. But once you get to the semi-finals, I think as a big team, you start feeling that you have an opportunity to go through. And also at the time, if you look at also the duration of the tournament at that time, you already picked because it's towards the end of the season. So you stand a good chance of actually winning it. But we all know the challenges that you have to face. The semi-final becomes more difficult than the final itself. And you just hope and wish that you're playing against the lower tier, that the 3 o'clock game, they get tired, 80th minute, they start cramping and use that to your advantage. But not many teams are able to do that. So you don't want to play a lower tier in the evening, because then you only can rely on the crowd to be able to maybe unsettle them. But we see now that the gap between the lower tier and the first, the senior DSTV, you could see that the gap is actually being narrowed now. You look at the quality of players that we're watching week out from the lower tier. So whenever they come to the PSL, they don't have time to adjust. They just go in and feel like a glove. So it becomes very, very difficult. But to come back to your question, I think semi-finals start feeling like they actually can win it.
Well, some time to go before then. 16 teams remain, Stiga. As things stand going into the round of 16, who's comfortable, who's feeling hot, who's feeling under a bit of pressure, you feel?
You know, Teko mentioned the gap between the DSTV Prem and the lower league, which is the Motsepe Foundation League. And immediately a team that comes to mind is Milford, not because they've taken a big scalp, but because they're not far off. It's one tier below that. How they acquitted themselves against Kaizer Chiefs just says that they have experience. They've got some experienced players in their midst. And I do think if there's one team that can do it, it would be Milford, that could have a proper run in this cup. Another team that I think is Maritzburg United, because they were in the DSTV Prem last year. They managed to hold on to some of experienced players there. And I think that they could possibly make a run for it. Unfortunately, Teko spoke about the draw, and they find themselves against Mamelodi Sundowns, and we know how that's going to go.
I think that's exactly why Teko had a perplexed look on his face. He was just like, are you saying Maritzburg United are going to beat Mamelodi Sundowns? Is that what us as the media can walk away here with? Is that the headline? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what
Say it to the chest.
That's what I'm saying. Hopefully they could do something. You know, this is a cup of dreams. We've seen TS Galaxy. Teko mentioned players that come from it. When you say TS Galaxy beating Chiefs in the final, you think of Zakela Lipasa. And once again, we speak about this cup, just creating opportunities, and nothing is impossible. Even though all of us here, even the journalists, when I say Maritzburg Sundowns, we assume we know how it's going to go. You never know.
That is very good defense for Stiga. Very, very solid at the back indeed. But let's quickly just touch on then the house itself and the essence thereof. Stiga, I want to start with you because you know there's some key features obviously that are going to be highlighted by those who are going to be in the house during the Nedbank Cup run. What is it exactly that you're looking most forward to?
Yeah, it's just a brilliant thing. I think journalists, when you walked in here, I'm sure we were all amazed There's the inside, there's the outside, but there's some exciting things that's on the horizon. There'll be watch parties. This is where you can, fans will be invited and you can now interact with the likes of the ambassadors. It's Shaba, it's Teko, it's myself. And you know what's good about that is that, when a fan watches a game and the ex-player watches a game, we watch it differently. So we're going to have the opportunity to engage, have conversations. It's always interesting from a player's perspective to see what perception a fan has when he's watching the game, how emotional they get. And it's a little bit different when you've been a player or you are a player, because you're looking at different things, you're looking at tactics. So that's just a brilliant experience for anybody that's going to be in the house. And obviously there's the influencers. I know Coach Chef Benny will possibly whip up something special for them. So that's also just a treat. We're trying to watch our weight here, but anyway, yeah, that's just so beautiful. I think the aura and experience when you come into the house, everything, it just speaks football, it speaks excitement, and yeah, I think even today, all the journalists here, I think you can feel that in the air.
Donna, what are you looking most forward to?
I think most of all, I think it will be the engagement with the fans, because with the type of work that we normally don't have an opportunity to engage with the fans, and to look at the game and be having different feelings and different thoughts about the game itself, because it's been a while since I've watched the game with the fans and be able to talk through. And I think also being a foodie myself, I'm looking forward to Chef Benny's meals and see what he has in store. But also just to see all the games going through, just to see the reaction from the fans, to get the emotions of the fans as well. I think that's one of those things that I'm looking forward to.
Thank you very much to the two of you. And in closing, perhaps we come back to you, Mpofu, and just try and draw parallels between the world of finance, the world of investing, the world of financial literacy and football, both high stakes most of the time. So in terms of giving any sort of advice to those who are involved in either one of the two or indeed both, what would your final words be?
Thank you for that. Soccer is a very interesting career. It gives one an opportunity to make a lot of money in a short space of time. Compared to other careers, it might be the shortest because there's a lot that can happen in that period while you're making a lot of money. And it also comes with a lot of pressure in the lifestyle. This has an impact in future planning for finances. Hence, you see a lot of players succumb to the current situation and live for now instead of planning for their retirement after their career has ended. So, as money experts who do good at Nedbank, we try and make sure that people understand how to invest and to plan for the future, for retirement. What type of lifestyle are you going to live after your soccer career has ended? And also make sure that you use the appropriate tools in the form of products that the bank has, the apps that we have. We've got a lot of gadgets that help the current players to engage with us in terms of managing finances. Like we've got your WhatsApp chatbot that is easy for everybody to use. We've got products like My Goals Plus that are affordable for people who earn from the new guys who are coming into the Nedbank Cup for the first time. So we make sure that we've got a mix of all the gadgets that are necessary to groom the young soccer players so that by the time they reach the climax of their career, they've got an idea on how to manage their finances.
Absolutely wonderful. Thank you ever so much for your time, Charles Mpofu of Nedbank, and thank you for your time as well, Teko Modise, Stanton Fredericks, and thank you to the members of the media. That is how we do wrap up this press conference.